Yay Media Group.
13 has been my lucky number for a while. Like, it's always a sign of good things to come for me.
This is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast, breaking down every song, every Easter egg, every era, and every theory. Hosted by the biggest Swifties, Nick Adams, Anna Zabo, Amy Nichols, and Lacey G.
Welcome to 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. My name's Nick Adams.
I'm Anna.
Amy. And I'm Lacey G.
And today we are breaking down track number 11, I Can Fix Him. No, Really, I Can, written by Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff.
So I know that we have had this discussion before, previous episodes. In my opinion, you're right. This is the most country song on the album.
It is. It truly
Really?
is. Yes.
Yes.
I completely agree with Anna.
You don't
planet are
hear
you
like
on?
the like country like
I guess I do.
Like
sure.
More of like a Western movie.
Western.
Yeah.
like
yeah,
this
yeah.
this is taking
I
place
guess the music and stuff for sure.
this is in my head this is taking place at a saloon.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with
exactly.
like the double wooden doors that swing around.
Okay.
That's
Have
is
you
that what
ever
you thought
had-
too?
Yes. Are we in a saloon right now? That's how I feel during that song.
Yeah.
At this moment,
Like
in a saloon.
I hear like the hay, what's it called? Hay ball?
Oh,
the tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Ball. So cute.
Yeah.
I feel like living in Texas, you should have known that it's tumbleweed because that's what people like stereotypically think of our state.
But
Like,
I live
there's
in
armadillos and tumbleweeds.
I
and
live in the city.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a city girl.
I'm a city girl.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree. But have you ever had somebody ask you before if you ride a horse to work? And it's like, I've been on a horse maybe twice in my whole life.
Yes, and you know what's so funny? Growing up, I would get asked that a lot. Do you ride a horse to school? And I had to explain that the school that I went to, like my elementary to high school, before it was a school, it was a horse stable.
Stop.
And so when I went to school there, it was still pretty new that they still had the horse stables like behind the school. So I had to explain that we had horses at my school, but I didn't like ride the horses to school. I just like that was just kind of how it went. But you could always tell when it was summer was creeping up because you could smell it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so like our classrooms and stuff like used to be horse stables.
That is crazy. I love that.
Yeah.
What a fun
Yeah, you
fact.
think our mascot should have been like the horses or the ponies, but we were the Panthers.
Yeah, that didn't make sense at all.
No.
Should have been the Mustangs or something.
Right, we should have.
Hmm.
I mean, who can I talk to about that?
I don't know.
Anyway,
Anyway,
what do you guys think of this song?
I love this song. And it's definitely one of them that when you hear it, you're like, I clearly know who she's speaking about.
Yeah.
I think, in my head, I'm like, okay. Even just like from the first line, you're like, oh. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, who do you think inspired this?
I mean, I would think it's Maddie, right?
I
I
think
mean, the
it's,
first line is the smoke cloud billows. I know that he smokes.
Mhm.
Maybe other men in her lives have smoked. I just don't know if it's as well documented as Maddie Healy. And we already have a song, But Daddy, I Love Him, and stuff like that. So she's in fixer mode, you know?
I think it's so.
Hence, I can fix him.
I think it's so funny because I agree with you. I do think that Maddie Healy was the inspiration behind this, but it's also so insanely just relatable in general. I feel like there's so many people, and women especially, that feel like they can fix a bad boy.
Yeah.
You know?
What is the philosophy? Why do the good girls go after the bad guys?
Yeah, why do we feel like, okay, but I can change him? No, really, I can fix him. Like,
I
what
don't know.
is it? The challenge? Are you attracted to the challenge? Like, what is the mentality behind that? But at one point or another, I feel like a lot of people go through that.
Absolutely.
And I think like in general, this isn't the first time that Taylor has gone through this. I mean, if you just kind of look at her history, like people told her not to date John Mayer. You know, and Jake Gyllenhaal, they're like, hey, he's kind of an egotistical asshole. Maybe don't do that. And she's like, no, but like, I want, you know what I mean? So it's like,
It's different.
even though you're right, it's different. It'll be different with me. I can fix him. No, really, I can. And so when it comes to the situationship and everything with Maddie Healy, especially, it's like not the first time, but it's the most evident, I guess, if that makes sense.
Have any of y'all ever knowingly or unknowingly dated the bad guy to try and fix him?
I married him.
Okay. Did you fix him?
No, he just fixed himself.
Okay.
And that's
With your help.
Take credit, girl.
No.
Oh.
Now he's just like a really sweet guy.
He is a really nice guy.
Wait, how was he like a bad boy when he was younger?
Oh, let's get
He
some
got
drama.
in trouble, with relationships and school.
Did he smoke
and
cigarettes?
He did.
Ooh.
He did, yeah. But he's a good guy now.
He is a good
he's
guy.
clean cut.
He's so great and he's so funny.
Mhm.
You fixed him.
I think he fixed himself.
Well, I did see on Google today that Googling I can fix him, then Google tried to like fill in the rest and see what other people were Googling.
Oh, funny.
And someone said, why am I attracted to men I think I can fix? And Google's answer was, we like the idea of having a boyfriend so much we are willing to overlook his misogyny. Plus, the concept of fixing him makes us feel needed as well as desired and loved. It provides a sense of fulfillment that cannot be obtained simply by being with this man because of his problematic nature. So that's what Google said. But I think also some people have such a natural, nurturing kind of way that you want to help people in general. So even though it might not be necessarily fixing somebody, it's, if I'm here for this person, then maybe I can show them the right way or urge them or give them a better way than being a bad person.
That's so true.
So maybe not necessarily trying to fix somebody. I've never successfully fixed somebody. So good luck to you if you think that you're going to get into
Right.
a relationship and be able to fix somebody. Like, I don't know that that's realistic. People are so stubborn in their ways that are you going to be able to change somebody? Maybe, maybe not. But I also wouldn't get in with that expectation of I can make them perfect.
But have you felt that before?
I've thought that I could help. I can't make people perfect. I'm not perfect.
No. I mean, like the sentiment of like I can fix him. Of like that.
No. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think like that. I think maybe I thought I could uplift somebody or make them be a better person, but fix them. No. I'm not a magician.
Question from, at least I hope I'm the nice guy.
You are.
I think I'm a nice guy. Why is it that some ladies do prefer, especially when they're younger, to prefer the bad guy over the nice guy? Like, what makes someone who's the unpredictable more attractive than someone who, like, has their stuff together?
Well,
that you don't have to worry about. There's not a lot of drama.
Typically, I would think that it would be in your teenage years
Sure.
that you'd be drawn to that, and you're rebellious in that
Yeah.
stage. So that's what you'd be drawn to. Reject everything that's at home.
Is it
and
like
go for
nice
something
guys
different.
are boring?
I think it's the
Like,
inexperience.
I'm not, like, dating me, I'm not going to go out and get in a fight at a bar, but we can hang out and watch a really great movie.
Yeah, maybe it's more exciting.
Maybe.
The thrill of it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, and Taylor even kind of mentions it in a different lyric where she says, I thought I was better safe than starry-eyed. Like, sometimes when somebody feels safe when you're younger, that's kind of not the thrill that you're looking for. It's also very much in pop culture media, like movies. You grew up watching those love stories of the bad boy
With the
that
motorcycle.
changed his ways for the girl for love. You know what I mean? It's
Sure.
kind of, but then as we get older, I think people realize that you want somebody that you can be stable with, that you trust, that you feel safe with. But yeah, I think when you're younger, it is kind of like that rebellious phase, I guess. But I don't know. It's an interesting psyche.
Yeah.
I don't like the bad boy, and I don't like men who say that or try to push that narrative, especially like in my older generation and dating world, and people are like, oh, guys only want an asshole. No, that's so not true. And I think that you have a bad mentality for thinking that way and wanting to project that, because the biggest turnoff for me would be a bad attitude and would be someone who's not in a good place. If you're a negative person and you're just putting that stuff out there, then I have no desire to want to be around you at all. And to say that girls or people only want to date assholes is putting out that negativity that I have no desire to be around. And I can, with this particular friend, I've tried to be a positive, uplifting person, but I don't think that I'm changing his ways. And so it's like, you're still going to present yourself like that no matter what I say.
Yeah.
And I just completely disagree with that. I think that it's very immature to think that people feel that way. I think it is a lack of experience that makes people want the bad person. And it is an act of acting out of rebellion just because you don't know any better. But then once you've had a relationship or two, then you're like, yeah, I don't want all that drama.
Mm-hmm.
Nick, growing up, did you feel that way? Like,
There were certainly times, maybe more in college, when I dated my now wife all through high school. We took a break in college, so there was just more dating and stuff like that. And there were several times when the girl I was interested in or whatever, like she'd pick them. I mean, none of them were like bad guys, but just the not as nice of a guy as me, or at least what I thought I was a nice guy. And I was like, I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. Why? And of course, there was always drama with them. She was always crying at the bar or something, and it's like, well, like, I'm not picking a fight with you over little things. Like, I don't understand.
I do think that some people feed off of that. Like some
people like the drama.
Some people like the drama.
Yes.
Some people like the toxicity of this, especially in the younger years.
Yes.
So maybe I guess there's just kind of like that behind it.
The nice guy's probably gonna have a 401k, lady. So like, go with him,
Always go for the nice guy.
and just you get a little bit more security out of it.
And in reference to Matty Healy specifically, he does have this kind of like bad boy,
Totally. That's his image.
persona, reputation, image, like smoking on stage, whatever. And when they first started dating, like when word got out that they were together, at one point people were wondering if Taylor wanted to date him to roughen up her image, because Taylor has had just a very clean, like image and reputation, that it's like people were like, oh, does she want that? But then it also became relatable to people that it's like, okay, she's going through her little like bad boy era.
I don't like saying she's dating someone purely on her image, because that's what people say about her and Travis now.
Oh,
she's
yeah,
just dating
yeah.
her for, how it looks or whatever. But I can totally see how, when you are with guys who are, I don't want to say similar, but more on the nicer side of the aisle, those aren't working. So, okay, let's try the bad boy. Like, try something that you've been trying things and it's not working. So try the opposite. See what happens.
Especially coming out of a long-term relationship.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, feeding off of that, maybe Joe didn't have the ego to handle her fame. So maybe women are drawn to bad boys because of their ego. The confidence is so strong that they're drawn to it.
And
they can handle. He can handle me, is what she might be thinking.
And I certainly think that there's a lot of just overcorrecting. Like, if there's things that she did not like in her previous relationship, Joe was more quiet, more subtle. Now she's going to go the complete opposite way and go with Maddie, who he definitely has an image he's keeping up, and he's definitely out there and loud and not afraid to speak up. And now maybe she's mellowing out a little bit with Travis. There might be a little bit of an overcorrection in who she's with, and now she's settling back to something that's more in line with what she's really going for with Travis.
So as someone who highly admires the music from the 1975, they have a music video, and I don't know, there's no like real correlation between this, but every time I listen to this song, I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can, we were saying like we visualize that we're like in a saloon in like a Western situation. So the 1975, they have, in my opinion, one of the best music videos of theirs is for a song called Robbers. And every time I hear I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can, I envision the music video of Robbers, which they're not in a saloon or anything, but it is Maddie's character with this other girl character. And it is kind of this like toxic relationship where they're smoking and drinking and doing drugs, and then they go and rob a convenience store or like a liquor store of some sort, and they like run away together, and it's just that kind of sentiment. And so I watched the Robbers music video this morning again, just to kind of like, because I visualize it in my head when I listen to the song, but I watched the music video, and somebody had posted about what Matty Healy said about the video way back when. This video came out like 10 years ago. But this is what he said about the Robbers music video. He said, Robbers is a love song. It was originally inspired by my love for the Quentin Tarantino film True Romance, the story of an Elvis-obsessed loner who falls in love and marries a prostitute. In the movie, the couple run away to California after killing her pimp and stealing his drugs to start a new life financed by what was once a lifetime drug deal. It's the sentiment behind the film that appeals to me, this hopeless romantic notion of two people who can meet and instantly fall in love, an escape story where love is the highest law and conquers all against all odds. Characters like Bonnie and Clyde always appealed to me as a teenager. Couples so intoxicated with one another that they fear nothing in the pursuit of the realization of each other, actions fueled by blind, unconditional love. Robbers is an ode to those relationships, the type of relationship all humans long for, the all or nothing. And I kind of feel like that's the sentiment also that is kind of expressed through a lot of the songs that we're hearing in the Tortured Poets, and I kind of visualize it with this one specifically. And I don't know if any other 1975 Swifties have had that connection or if it's just me, but that's what goes on in my head whenever I hear this song. So I just wanted
Love it. Thank you.
wanted to share.
Yeah, thank you.
Shall we get into these lyrics?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Taylor starts off by singing, "The smoke cloud billows out of his mouth like a freight train through a small town."
I feel like
Again, very Western.
Very
Freight train,
Western.
small town, smoke. Woo, woo.
It's the beginning of a movie trailer.
exactly, and it's very just poetic right off the bat. I did have to look up freight train because I'm not familiar with different types of trains. Just in case anybody wanted to know, those are the like cargo trains, the railway train, the very like stereotypical train that you would see in like a toy like train track like situation, and like the smoke that billows from
Is it the
those.
train that I get stuck behind like once a month that takes 10 minutes for the train to pass? Has that ever happened to you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so frustrating. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Or like a train that people would hop on for free rides, like you used to see.
Oh,
People
sure.
would sneak on.
Oh, like on the side.
Yeah, or would sneak onto the train and then hop off in different areas.
The jokes that he told across the bar were revolting and far too loud. But hold on. There are times when she likes the bad jokes.
I know.
There's times where she wants him to save all the dirtiest jokes for her. So
Yeah, but not from across the bar when everybody can hear
in
it.
public or okay.
Yeah, so I'm getting like ick.
Yeah.
Like the ick factor.
Like
there.
she's starting to get the ick.
I think
Like
we-
she's
I
starting
think-
to
I
see what
think-
people are talking about.
I think us as like the listener, like she's letting the listener know because she's painting this character of like a narcissist, essentially, right? Like he's telling these jokes that are not good jokes, but loud enough for everyone in the bar to hear, like very kind of like narcissistic, annoying, like character. And so she's kind of like us as the listener. She's already telling us like,
I know.
Listen, I know.
And
I know what you're about to say.
while we know that Taylor likes to have herself some drinks and stuff, just saying that he's in the bar, that's telling you he's probably drunk. And what's worse than being a loud drunk? Like, that's embarrassing if you're with, like, the loud drunk who's telling, like, the dirty jokes at the bar, and people are like, it's not the vibe, dude. That's not it.
You don't want to
know?
be. You don't want to be with that guy.
No. And then she starts singing, "They shake their heads, saying, God help her, when I tell him he's my man." Have you ever said that about a friend? Like
God
someone,
help her?
someone introduces you to like, "Hey, this is my new boyfriend." You're like, "God help her." Oh no,
I mean,
not
not
my
like-
friend.
Not in those words.
Not verbatim.
Yeah,
No.
but you felt it. Like, ooh, is this the
Like
right
not
one?
even like that, but it's like a. I'm glad you like him. I would never.
Right. It's almost like you recognize the hopeless situation. You're
Yeah.
like, oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then people and like you're supposed to give people your opinion as well, but then you can't tell someone that I know this is not going to end well, because who am I to place my judgment on you whenever I've made my own decisions that did not end well?
And then what if it does? Then that whole relationship, your friend knows, well, Lacey hasn't liked my boyfriend, Doug,
Yeah.
the
Not
entire
Doug.
relationship.
We hate Doug.
Doug.
I would love to be proven wrong. I would
absolutely.
love to be proven wrong. But there's nothing you can do because I can't make your choices for you. And even if I was to make a choice for you, who would say I would make the right one? So unfortunately, you see people doing things that it's like, not a good idea. And you just have to let them do it anyway.
Yeah.
I have a friend whose family just got married like really, really young, and everybody is very hesitant about, and I'm just like, there's nothing you can do about it. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. They're going to do whatever they want to do anyway, and they will be just fine in the end. You can't insert yourself into someone else's life. Just let them make their mistakes.
And then she gets into what we were talking about earlier, maybe that misguided confidence. She says, but the good Lord doesn't need to lift a finger. I can fix him. No, really, I can. And only I can.
Yeah. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. I just want to take a quick moment to say a thank you to my therapist / best friend, Taylor Swift. Listening to Taylor Swift's music is considered therapy to me because it does make me feel better. But this month is all about gratitude. And along with my therapist, best friend, Taylor Swift, that I just shouted out, there is another person that I don't think we don't think enough, and that is ourselves. It's sometimes hard to remind ourselves that we are just trying our best to make sense of everything. And in this crazy world, that isn't an easy thing to do. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people in your life, including yourself. I was actually talking to my therapist recently, my actual therapist, not Taylor. I was talking to my therapist recently, and I was just telling her that I've been feeling so overwhelmed. Like sometimes I feel like I don't have the time to stop and take a breath. And she suggested, much like kind of like a gratitude journal, to make an accomplishments journal. At the end of every day, just kind of write down a few things that you're proud of yourself for doing, whether that's getting up in the morning, whether that's showering after a few days of feeling like you just couldn't get out of bed. Whatever it is that day, the smallest little things, writing them down and patting yourself on the back can make a huge difference. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Taylor Swift fan today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Taylor Swift fan.
I'm going to be the one to make this change.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people have felt that before in a relationship.
I'd like to hear from our listeners. Have you fixed the bad boy?
Mm-hmm.
Send us an email. Email's in the description of this podcast. Send us an email. Tell us the situation. I want all the drama and gossip, all the juicy details. Tell him how bad he was and the steps you took to fix him.
The how-to.
Mm-hmm.
The bad person.
Mm-hmm. Bad person. Bad person. The dopamine races through his brain on a 6-lane Texas highway.
She's talking about us. Texas.
So is this a reference to his drug using and how dangerous he is? Or is it like a different kind of dopamine? That's just where my head went.
Well, what is dopamine? Dopamine's like the chemical that runs through your head when you're like happy and stuff. Like it's that natural high that you get.
But every other song, do we hear that he's super happy? Because
No.
I don't.
I kind of, even though it says dopamine, in my head, I always kind of thought it was more so like adrenaline.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're racing down the highway. Got it.
Yeah, like the adrenaline down the 6-lane Texas
Regardless, dangerous.
Regardless, dangerous. And this also just keeps adding to the storyline that we've been hearing, right? Because in Florida, where she says escape a shitstorm back in Texas, this is the shitstorm back in Texas that she's referring to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his hands so calloused from his pistol. Again, bad boy. Hey, Western.
Yeah, rough
Western
around the edges.
reference.
I saw somebody online say, even though like 6-lane Texas highway, 6-lane could also mean like 6-string guitar, in a way, because then by also saying his hand so calloused from his pistol, the pistol, if that were also to kind of, if the quote unquote pistol would be like his weapon, like if his guitar is his weapon, if we're talking about Matty Healy hypothetically, he's also a musician, so he could also be writing music about this situation, especially following the Tortured Poets Department, where Taylor kind of put it all out there.
Yeah.
And I've kind of wondered too, like, eventually will we get an album from the 1975 that refers to all of this? And I always think about, and I was going to save this until we get to our episode in The Smallest Man, but I just can't help but say it now. In The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, she says, were you writing a book? Were you a sleeper cell spy? In 50 years' time, will this all be declassified? 50 years from 1975 is 2025.
Oh.
So
if the 1975, if Maddie Healy were to write music about this and put it out in 2025, that would be
Yeah.
like 50 years from 1975.
I just got goosebumps.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think about that a lot when I listen to The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived.
Wow.
And when I saw that someone had pointed out, like, you know, his pistol being his guitar being his weapon, I was like, okay, that kind of has the same sentiment of him also writing music about the situation.
Woo. I'm loving that.
So do you guys like men with calloused hands? Do y'all like a man with rough hands? Is that attractive?
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
As
I've never really
someone
thought
with
about
rough
it.
hands, I'm going to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually checking out my hand. I do have calloused hands, but it's not from pistols or guitars. It's from, I have a row machine at home.
Oh, nice.
So my hands are calloused from
Yeah.
doing that. But I have really rough, dry hands anyway. So yes, I'm going to say I love a person with rough, dry hands. And calluses, great. People should hold their hand too. Do
Hold their hand.
not,
They
do
deserve
not,
love, too.
not
Yeah.
hold people's hands just because they're rough and callous and not what you would expect from them.
I love that.
Lacey-
You should hold their hands too.
Yes.
Lacey and someone with really rough hands. It's just like there's just like a trail of sandpaper and
Yeah.
dead skin falling behind them
Yes.
on the sidewalk.
Wait, go like this.
Yeah. I used to watch.
I'm doing my hands now.
I think you have soft hands then. I can't really
Oh yeah,
hear it.
it's definitely. I'm definitely asking because I don't have confidence in my calloused hands.
I think you'll be okay.
I
I
think
think
you should
that's
have-
what you're getting from the nice guy. You're not getting
Moisture?
You're not getting calloused hands. Yeah, they use lotion.
You heard it here first. Nice
Yeah.
guys use lotion.
Yeah,
I do love how it the juxtaposition between calloused hands and then softly traces hearts on my face.
Yes, I do
Mm-hmm.
too.
Because the rough hands are softly tracing hearts. And even though I know it says softly traces hearts on my face, I know that. But I think since we have just heard Guilty as Sin, y'all did a great job, by the way. I listened to the
Aw,
episode.
thanks.
I think since we had just heard Guilty as Sin, every time I listen and sing along to this song, I always say, softly traces hearts on my thigh. Even though I know that's incorrect, I know that. In my head, that's what I say.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowed.
and I could see it from a mile away. A perfect case for my certain skill set.
I love how she says it.
He had a halo of the highest grade. He just hadn't met me yet. So again, she's saying, okay, I can do this. This is in my skill set. I can fix this guy. He's bad. He's got calloused hands from carrying a gun.
Mm-hmm.
He's crazy going along the 6-lane Texas highway. It's fine.
Yeah.
We're
No,
good.
no, really,
I can do this. Yeah.
No, really, I can.
Mm-hmm.
Someone on Reddit said that they're triggered by this description because it sounds psychopathic, almost the way a narcissist is drawn to borderlines. Like it sounds predatory. Just seeing it from a mile away, my certain skill set, halo of the highest grade, they just drew like a lot of red flags
Yeah.
from the way that was described.
Yeah.
Which hitting on narcissism, that's something that y'all said earlier, that you pointed out earlier, that he's saying these jokes super loud so everybody can hear. So
I could see that.
yeah, trying to eyeball someone from miles away and knowing that they can be yours, essentially.
Do you think any of this is her doubting herself that she can really fix him? And so many people have said, this isn't a good guy for you. And she's digging her heels down saying, no, really, I can. Is she trying to like pump herself up knowing this might end badly and I'm probably not going to be able to do this? Do you think she's telling herself like, no, I can fix him. No, I really can. I can. I know everyone's telling me I can. Even though she's doubting herself that she can.
Yeah, I think that's
Possibly.
a really good way to look at it.
Because in this song, she's like, we're about to get into it. It's just
Yeah.
people are constantly telling her this isn't right. They shake their heads saying, God help her when I tell him he's my man.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, but daddy, I love him. Kind of like, no, like you're just being defiant,
Yeah.
even though maybe in the back of your head, you know, and they might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Anna's said before, I mean, Taylor's written this album for her.
Right.
So, yeah, if she's listening back to it, this album that she wrote for herself, she was totally trying to pump herself up.
Yeah. And I do think that with that sentiment we've kind of heard, like in But Daddy, I Love Him, I think we almost kind of heard it a little bit too also in Fresh Out the Slammer, when she's like, I did my time. It's going to be fine, right? Right? Like, I feel like she's almost trying to convince herself.
But your good Lord doesn't need to lift a finger. I can fix him. No, really, I can, and only I can.
I do like how she says, but your good Lord doesn't need to
she
lift a
doesn't
finger.
claim the thoughts or beliefs.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to note.
Well, because whenever people are helpless and there's nothing else that they can do in a situation, they always want to say thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers to you and your family. Thoughts and prayers. That's more of a, I have nothing that can help you from the situation, but I still want to offer you something. Thoughts and prayers. And that's why she's saying, I don't need your prayers. I don't need your God helping me. I've got
I can
this.
do it. Yeah.
Well, we're getting into the bridge now, and she has some other religious references. Good boy, that's right. Come close. I'll show you heaven if you'll be an angel at night.
What? Oh, is that what the lyric is?
If you'll be an angel, all mine.
I have all mine.
Oh, I don't know. I'm looking at genius.com. I'll show you heaven if you'll be an angel all night. Trust me, I can handle me, a dangerous man. No, really, I can.
Look up the lyric video real quick.
Please do.
So, good boy. Is that a little condescending? Is that good boy? That's kind of like golden retriever.
It gives me like behind closed doors, like I know who you really are. The public doesn't understand kind of thought.
I'm thinking of something that Lacey mentioned earlier about how it might just be a woman's natural instinct to want to fix something. That sounds very maternal. It's like, yeah, when you're behind closed doors, you can kind of talk to that person in a more maternal way, like I am truly taking care of you.
Yeah, and pet them like a golden
Right.
retriever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the way that she's delivering to it's like, good boy. That's right. I found the lyric video, by the way. It's all night.
Really?
I'll show you heaven if you'll be an angel all night.
Okay, yeah, I have all mine as well.
Well,
Interesting.
and also, this is like as a parent right now, you have to like threaten someone. You have to threaten your kid to make them change their actions and like give them a reward. Like, I'll show you heaven if you're an angel all night. That's like me. Like, hey, if you guys go to sleep on time, you can have chocolate milk in the morning. You're like constantly like negotiating with someone who you're trying to change their behavior.
Yeah.
So, a personal ick for me, I cannot stand for someone to call me good girl, to say good girl, that like don't talk to me like that. And excuse me. Don't talk to me like that. Don't mistake anything that I'm doing as if I'm doing it for you to praise me and say good girl. Like, no, but someone on Reddit said that they thought that Taylor has some sort of praise kink and that she was using that in here, and that also goes back to the tattooed golden retriever line.
Yeah, because I kind of pictured as like he, like the male character, like basically has like his head on her shoulder and she's like petting him, being like, good boy, that's right. Like she like successfully, like she was successful in this I can fix him, no really I can, almost so far. Spoiler alert coming up.
And it's definitely someone who is in control. I'm the puppet master. Like everything.
Mastermind.
Yeah, I'm the mastermind here. Like everything is going according to my plan.
And
Good boy.
it's almost like the person isn't the actual reward. Fixing him is the reward, right? Like at the end of it, it's like you care more about to prove that I can fix him. No, really, I can, more so than the actual person.
Than the person.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that
like the
shows-
trophy you get
Yeah.
rather than the actual person you're now
Yeah,
with.
that shows ill intent though. I don't know. I'll have to process that a little longer.
I'm not saying that's what she's
No,
saying.
no,
I'm just
no.
saying that's
what she's
a
saying.
potential vibe.
And then she ends the song by doing the chorus again. They shook their heads saying, God help her, when I told him he's my man. But your good Lord didn't need to lift a finger. I can fix him. No, really, I can. Whoa.
Whoa, maybe I
Maybe I
can't.
can't. Whoa.
Plot twist.
Whoa.
And then the song ends. Cliffhanger.
Whoa,
And
maybe I can't.
It's one of the shortest songs
It
on the
is.
album.
Yeah,
which
it
I was
is.
like, you could tell us. It's such a good story. She could drag us on a little longer if she wanted to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 2 minutes and 36 seconds.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take her long for her to realize maybe I can't.
Yeah.
Maybe I can't. Maybe I don't want to.
Yeah. I like how it's whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, maybe I can't.
Like you're on a horse. Whoa, there, Nelly. Bringing the Western back.
Yes, this is a Western theme, Western soundtrack. That's something when I pulled up the lyric video. The first comment says, Western movie soundtrack is a genre I didn't know I needed Taylor to do, but now I need an entire album.
I saw someone say that they're seductive outlaws in this.
Seductive
Yes, see,
Outlaws.
Outlaws goes back to the robbers.
Yeah. So I was curious when we were talking about how long it was, what her shortest songs are. Now, this is according to a playlist on Spotify. So I don't know if this is completely accurate, but I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can't is her 5th shortest song. Any guesses on the 4 songs that are shorter? Amy,
I look in people's windows.
that is her shortest song at 2 minutes and 11 seconds.
Wait, we're talking her whole discography?
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Okay. I look in people's windows.
That's the shortest.
Now that we don't talk,
That's the second shortest
Oh,
at 2 minutes and 26 seconds.
It's nice to have a friend.
It's Nice to Have a Friend is the 4th shortest. Y'all are great at this. 2
Okay.
minutes and 30 seconds. One more.
Ow.
There's one more song that's in her
I don't
top
wanna
5
guess.
shortest.
I
That's-
don't wanna guess.
Yes, come
That's
on.
shorter than I Can Fix Him?
Correct.
Hold on. We can figure this out. I look in people's windows.
Can you give us a hint, like what album
It's I'll just say it's a newer song. I'm not saying it's like the newest song, but it's newer in the more modern era of Taylor Swift.
on? I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing.
No, there's got to be a short song on like Folklore. 7?
It's on Midnights.
Midnights. We already said it's nice to have a friend.
That's Lover.
Oh, you're right. No, then that one. The Wicklow Sometimes.
Just tell us.
Glitch. Glitch
I
is
would never
2
have
minutes
guessed.
and 28 seconds long.
I wouldn't have never guessed that.
someone pointed out that the opening chords are the same as Glitch.
Oh.
Oh.
That was pointed out
And this-
multiple times. Mhm.
Oh.
Can anyone guess her longest?
10-minute version.
Wait,
All too well.
What about her second?
Okay, her second longest.
Okay, 2nd longest. Oh, Last Kiss.
That is her 3rd longest. That's 6 minutes and 9 seconds. So there's something that is 6 minutes and 45 seconds long.
Is it
Oh,
a Folklore Evermore song?
Nope,
it's an earlier song.
it is.
Back to December.
Nope.
Dear John.
Dear John is correct. 6 minutes and 45 seconds.
Wow.
I knew it was a speak now.
Oh, wow. And her 4th longest is Enchanted at 5 minutes and 53 seconds. Last Kiss, 6:09. Dear John, 6:45. She has some long songs on Speak Now.
Yes, I
Taylor's
remember
version.
because when everybody was making such a
Stink.
bacha about like All Too Well being 10 minutes long, I was like, she has another song that's like 7 minutes and nobody said anything about that.
What was that? A
Such a,
chop?
how do you spell that? I need to put that on a t-shirt. Such a pacha.
Just like it sounds.
Okay.
Don't ask me silly questions.
do
What's
you-
your 13th longest song?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4,
I like this game.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Castles Crumble from Speak Now.
I knew it.
5 minutes and 6 seconds.
Lacey, I cut you off. What were you about to ask?
I was just going to ask, a lot of people on Reddit said that they felt like this is the prequel to No Body, No Crime,
Oh.
with Florida being the sequel. And does
Oh.
anyone else feel that way?
I could
You're
definitely-
trying to fix somebody. Oh, I can't. Let's take them out on the boat. Get rid of them.
Very
Oh,
Dexter.
like is this like being told like is I Can Fix Him maybe like Este's point of view?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And then wrap it all up with Florida.
One hell of a drug.
I don't know if I rated this in my top 5, but I think I might have to when we redo it at the end.
You're in about
It's
7
so
months when we
good.
redo our
Yeah,
predict
7
our
months.
Every
rankings.
time we break down a song, it goes up in my rankings.
Yeah.
All 30 tracks of Tortured Poets are my number 1 right now.
Also, someone pointed out this is the grown-up way of saying I can make the bad guys good for a weekend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, before we go, I hear some of our lovely lobsters left us some voicemails on the phone number that you can call.
Yay.
That number is in the description of this podcast right now.
What is it, Nick?
Oh, I have no idea what it is. I know it's some convalid something. It's like Reputation, Speak Now, 1313. Yeah.
It's Reputation 89.
Okay.
Two,
Valentine's Day, 1313.
Duh. Nick.
Well, if you didn't get that number, it's in the description of this podcast.
214
689.
689.
Well, it was 689 first.
No,
Yes.
689.
Oh, then
Do y'all know it?
Y'all don't on that side of the room.
I have it written at the very top of my notes. Does anybody want to guess how long my notes document is right now? It's my notes document that I've had since we started this podcast.
1300
1300
pages.
What?
1300.
I said 31 pages.
It's a little bit longer than 31 pages, a little bit shorter than 1300.
Closest. Oh, you said longer? I was going to do 1 page. I'm gonna say it's 35 pages.
Since we started this podcast.
Mm-hmm. It's closest without going
You
over,
said
right?
1300?
It's Price is Right rules. You've already locked in your answer.
Okay. Well, then so did you. We're
Yeah.
all wrong. Now the game's over.
No, because I'm going to be closest. Because
No, you already
surely
guessed.
I know.
Oh. Well, then let's know the answer.
Because I guess higher than yours.
Yeah, and
so I
technically
block you out.
Nick won
Yeah.
the game.
Oh. Oh, okay. Now I see. I see where you're going now. I'm the loser. And
No.
you're the winner. I get it now.
I can fix him. No, really, I can't.
How many pages?
496.
Whoa. It's a lot of pages.
Anyway, the phone number is written at the very top on the page 1.
Is it written correctly?
It says 689-214-1313.
Nice.
Yeah.
So who left us a voicemail first, Miss Lacey?
So we're going to hear from Natalie in Oregon, and she wants to give us some reputation guesses, and we are recording this right before we go to Miami. This is going to be posted right after we get back from Miami. Let's see if Natalie in Oregon is correct.
Hi, my name is Natalie, and I'm a huge fan of your podcast and also a very big Swiftie. I'm 13 years old, and I live in Portland, Oregon. My theory on when Reputation Taylor's version will be announced is the first night of Miami, because the Eras Tour movie was released on October 13th, 2023, and Miami is October 18th, 2024. And that's a 5-day difference. And once Taylor releases Reputation Taylor's version, there will be 5 Taylor's versions released. And that's not the only connection to the Eras Tour movie. But on the last night of London, she sang Getaway Car with Jack Antonoff and Death by a Thousand Cuts. And Death by a Thousand Cuts is, well, one of the songs she sings for a surprise song in the Eras Tour movie. My favorite song from the Tortured Poets department is probably Peter or Thank You, Amy right now. And I'm really excited to hear your theories on when Reputation Taylor's version will be announced. Bye.
Bye.
That was so cute.
That was nice. I love hearing from people.
I do too.
It's just so cool.
Me too. It's really, like, I forget. I mean, it's just the 4 of us in the studio, like, you know, chit-chatting and stuff. Like, it's really cool to be reminded that people listen.
Yeah, thank you, Natalie.
Thank you, Natalie. That was really, it's exciting because, yeah, like Lacey said, at the time that we're recording this, it's before we go to Miami. By the time you hear this back, you will know the answer to your question.
Right.
We
and
will
our
have
theories, I don't know, because I thought maybe she would do all of the re-releases during the Eras Tour, but now she's wearing a bunch of plaid and it's throwing me off. Like it's a different era that she's teasing. So I don't know when it will come.
I do love, because we've been trying to figure out what the plaid means. And I saw there was a Swiftie online that was like, you guys, she just ran out of colors for the era, so she's moving on to patterns. So plaid is TS12, and I think that makes sense.
Polka dot's going to be TS13.
Yeah.
Stripes is going to be...
Well, there's also theories that the black and white, that her albums that were black and white were not originally planned. It was something more so along the glitch, Reputation. That wasn't originally her plan. Reputation's in black and white. Then you have Folklore and Evermore. Evermore starting to release more of the color, but not folklore. And then same thing with Tortured Poets Department.
That's a great point.
So is it breaking the cycle that these were unplanned albums that came out? What is she teasing with the plaid? What is she teasing with? It started off blue and orange. Now it's become more of a lilac and orange. This is all stuff that she's had planned in the works for 3 years now. She quoted 3 years ago, how long can I tease something without it being too long? Is 3 years too long? Are we officially in the glitch? Is she backtracking and just releasing everything that she wasn't going to release before, including Karma and maybe a third sister album for Folklore and Evermore? She just cleared out her website and started selling folklore merch again. The cardigan came back. That was such a coveted item. There's been signed folklore CDs all of a sudden popping up at Walmart and Amazon. Like, does this all mean something? Is she circling back to the plaid with something else? Is that just because that was her punker rock album with Karma? Who knows? Will we have answers by the time this is posted? Who knows? Is she going to drop everything the first night in Miami? Is this going to continue on for the rest of the tour? We'll just have to see. And one listener wants to know, are we getting an Eras Tour Part 3? They don't know how else.
Okay.
Oops, sorry, I cut you off.
They don't know how else Taylor is going to be able to top this except for in this way.
I hope this is 13 Taylor Swift fan podcast, but if it's not, don't listen to this. I had an unpopular opinion. So, Taylor Swift never toured for the Eras Tour in my state, and she hasn't come since 1989. Since the Eras Tour has been so grand, then I think that it will get, like, hard for her to, like, compete with that for her next tour. So I have a feeling that she's going to do, like, an Eras Tour Part 3 that has, like, only the new eras, like, so just, like, Lover, Folklore, Evermore, Midnight, and Tortured Poets, the ones that didn't get individual tours. I might be delusional because she never came here and I want to go to the Eras Tour, but that would be nice. Plus, I would really like to see some more Midnight's outfits because that would be one I would, like, love to see in an individual tour, Midnight, because the outfits are so cool and there's so many of them. I don't know, I'm kind of rambling because I'm not very good at this, but you know, just.
I agree. The Midnight's retro look was top notch for me. I loved that vibe.
And the Midnight's outfits on tour are also top notch for me. Like
Yeah.
the newest bodysuit that
Yes.
has like the moon on it.
Yeah.
Oh, obsessed.
I totally agree with our lobster who was saying it's going to be hard for her to top every single tour to make
Yeah.
it more over the top. I could totally see her doing a more of a stripped down, more acoustic-y style tour. And maybe that's not even in a stadium, which means tickets are going to be even more astronomically expensive. But I could see her doing more intimate things.
Yeah.
Or even doing a Vegas residency. And because those venues are 4, 5, 10,000 seats. I could see her doing something like that. Oh my gosh, I would pay an absurd amount of money to see her in the Sphere in Vegas.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah.
That'd
That'd
be
crazy.
incredible.
Yeah, I am interested just to see what she does after the Eras Tour, just like in general. Because like our listener is right, like that's going to be really hard to top. So I have no clue. And I hope you get to see the Eras Tour.
Yeah.
So only a few
Did
more
they say
chances.
did they say what state they were in?
I didn't hear it.
I didn't
They
hear it.
did not. They did not leave a name. They did not leave a state, but it's probably because I still haven't left a voicemail. So that's why they were saying, like, I hope this is 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast.
I love that. If it's not, just don't listen. But that's smart of you to not give people your information. But it is us. Yes.
But people have wondered, is she going to do anything after this tour? There are several albums that she didn't have a solo tour for. So is she just going to focus on these albums and give people more from that? Is she tired of the crowd chanting more and wanting more? Is she going to take a much needed long break after this? Is she just going to release a new album and reset the schedule? Are we still going on the schedule of the Man Wall where we have a double Karma? Is this still a clock? I don't know. Who knows what's going on with Taylor Swift? But it is just super exciting to see what she does, what she has in store, and what's next. Is there anything next? We know that she still does have re-releases that she needs to release.
And projects outside of music that she is doing or will be working on.
Oh, the glitter from this last week. Now people are saying that she's back in her glitter gel pen era and that everything's going to be so high school
Happy
for
and-
her.
yeah.
Yeah, I've also seen people say that maybe all the plaid, kind of like, because she wore like this really iconic plaid dress during the Bleachella era. So maybe the plaid, if it were to be hinting at TS12, maybe TS12 is kind of like a more punk rocky like type of vibe, like kind of like so high school, that like electric guitar, you know, but it's like glitter gel pen lyrics. I don't know. She's always 13 steps ahead,
Yeah, she's a complex lady.
and we love her.
Well, that does it, I believe, for 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Thanks so much for checking us out. If you haven't checked out our YouTube page yet, please do. Go watch us. See what we look like.
Yeah.
Do we look like you expected us to look? And our email and phone number and all the ways to contact us are in the description of this podcast. Join us next time. We're going to be breaking down track number 12, LOML.
Thanks for listening. The 13, a Taylor Swift fan podcast. Subscribe for free and leave a positive review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.